We're currently right now in the Octagon on Objective 5 in the Crucible. A lot of recruits come from different walks of life, and some of them have not been in altercations, yet alone fights. So this gives the opportunity for them to learn how to not only execute techniques, but be introduced to controlled violence. One mind any weapon, like that term came from like back in the day where a Marine is able to kill you from 5 inches with your fist to 500 meters with a rifle. So, one mind any weapons means to me is a mindset.
So the 4 types of shooting positions that recruits shoot here at Parris Island is the sitting, the kneeling, the standing, and the prone. All of these are basic positions that Marines would find themselves in when they have to deploy downrange and possibly engage the enemy. So here at Parris Island, we teach them that these are the basics of that marksmanship. Sometimes with recruits have come with past experience in shooting, they have bad habits built up. So what we try to do is break those bad habits, instill in them the Marine Corps disciplines and the way that we go about conducting business here on the range, and we try to form them from there. Some of the techniques we teach them is making sure that their sling is tight enough, their sight alignment and sight picture is clear through their RCOs, their scopes, and that they have their slow, steady trigger squeeze, and that they focus on their breathing. We have the Marine Corps motto, every Marine a rifleman. Here on range, we make sure that we instill all these foundations so that we can produce all of these recruits who will graduate, become a Marine with the title of basic rifleman.
What warfighting skills modern Marines are more worried about or more like trying to put in is literally trying to go into a urban environment and actually seize the enemy. What the day course does is they're going to be going through all the obstacles, going over high walls, low walls. They're going to actually learn how to actually clear that, jump over it properly, and go effectively move as a group or as a unit to that next obstacle and actually clearing it. 7 Marines are riflemen when it comes down to it, what that means. So the way we implement everything is when we come in and you get a kid from ground zero to when they come to range, they'll go to range and they'll start shooting weapons for maybe even the first time. They'll be shooting the weapons for the first time, but now when they come here, they get taught to shoot, move, and communicate. It's gonna help them out a lot because one, the black shirts are giving them just screaming and yelling at them, the drill instructors are yelling at them, there's artisans going off, there's smokes going off. It's gonna give them to the point where they're gonna have to be in the zone, ready to go. In a real life scenario, or when they're on a deployment or anything like that, it's gonna come down to where they're gonna have to actually learn everything from basic warrior training and from what they learn in the fleet. They're gonna have to bring that together when it comes down to it, even if it's just someone who's not infantry.
Oh,
When they do the night event, it comes down to they're gonna be out of luck. There's not gonna be any light, no nothing, no chem lights, nothing. They're gonna come down to their natural night vision. Some of these kids never actually played out at night, or they'll go out and sleep underneath the stars. They'll go out and they'll see nothing, but they're gonna have to actually effectively go up at night and to actually use those techniques properly without getting a good sense of seeing. What recruits learn more on Page Field is how to actually work as a team and working as a fire team. And you have to know those people from the insides and out. You're gonna have to talk to each other, communicate with each other.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Flag. Everybody go.
every single recruit here and every Marine should be a fighter leader. It's telling you that you have to lead your Marines, but you also have to show the example of why you want them to follow you. If you want to be a leader, you're gonna have to be comfortable in the most uncomfortable positions.
The reason that recruit training needs to have the type of adversity that is built into it is because it teaches the Marines that they can trust one another and lean on one another for whenever those times do get tough. Part of what we do as Marines, and that our drill instructors do so well, is they make a commitment to those recruits as they come in every single pickup and every single cycle. They make that commitment to them in the drill instructor creed that they will never give up on the recruits, the drill instructors, even when the recruits have given up on themselves. And it teaches those recruits that they can count on one another. They can count on those drill instructors. And that, whenever we're facing adversity, becomes invaluable. It's important for them to face their fears in those high stress environments, just like the rappel tower and the gas chamber, because they need to understand that they can push beyond their own personal fears and boundaries, because there will become moments later on in their careers or later on in life that they may be confronted with a stressor that they need to move beyond or conquer, and this will set the foundation for being able to do that. The reason to continue using the gas chamber is to teach two lessons. One, that the instruction that we're provided is sound. And two, that the equipment that we're provided is as sound as we're being taught it is. So it's gaining those levels of trust. That's why it's so important to continue gas chamber training.
Look at me! No, no!
Marine Corps Martial Arts Rifle Range and Swim Call begin to build the lethality blocks for our Marines, whether it's learning how to navigate from ship to shore and being able to feel comfortable in an aquatic environment, whether the engagement with the service weapon or with close hand-to-hand combat in Marine Corps martial arts training. The Marines begin that basic foundation of how to be a lethal warrior on the battlefield. Marines need to be versatile in the ability to adapt to any situation that comes their way. The ethos that we are all riflemen is never more evident than being able to adapt to any situation and understand how we can fit into the solution of that problem. One of the great lessons the Marine Corps has taught Marines for ages is the fact that we are ready to answer the nation's call, that we are versatile, that we are adaptive, and that we can overcome any challenge.
I said, this shit fleet flash, and my mother into the chest. You play, you put the weights to your waist, and put the knot over your head, think like a pro.
Currently, the Marine Corps is focusing on increasing the lethality of the Marines, whether that's through the amount of education that they get, the courses and as far as structure, or the length of the course itself. Some of the aspects of knowledge that the recruits experience are on some of the basic levels. What are the basic history of the Marine Corps? But then it expands onto more advanced knowledge, like ranges of weapon systems and how to employ proper technique in compass and land. Reading and learning and being a continual learner only increases the lethality of the Marine. Understanding that the hardships that the Marines went through in the Korean War, World War II, or other venues provides them the background and experience that their predecessors brought, and how that has influenced how we train Marines today. The Marine Corps cares about how the Marines are trained and increasing their knowledge, because it only makes them a better Marine. The Crucible being the ultimate example of bringing all of the training together in a crucial moment when sleep is deprived, whenever movement is at its premium, whenever we're stressing those recruits to their ultimate limits, by taking all the lessons they've learned through the previous 9 weeks and encouraging them and forcing them to implement that training through their own experiences and through their own actions. It proves why the Crucible is the culminating event for recruit training. Character is a trait that is important to all Marines, because without character, without integrity, people will question if they can rely on you. And in crucial moments out on the battlefield, that should never be a question in any Marine's mind. Recruit training lays the foundation for the modern battlefield. by instilling the components of what they will experience in follow-on training. Without that foundation, those follow-on training venues lose their effectiveness. The camaraderie, the esprit de corps, and then everything that they will learn in follow-on training will all be built off of what the Marines learn here at recruit training. I can guarantee you that if we were to get into wartime footing again, the recruits, the drill instructors, and Marine Corps Recruit Depot Parris Island would rise to the challenge and produce basically trained Marines as we have since the beginning of inception here at Parris Island.